Hi, my name is Nikki Reed, and I was born November 4th, 1994. There are a couple of different historical events that lie on November 4th that I would like to share with you today. And I'll start off with one that is more familiar to all of us, and that would be the presidential election. The presidential election is held on the Tuesday following the first Monday in November. It can fall anywhere between November 2nd and November 8th. So not all of them were on the 4th, but there were some very important presidents that were elected on the 4th, like Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected November 4th, 1944. Dwight D. Eisenhower elected in 1952. Ronald Reagan in 1980, and Barack Obama in 2008, which was also my 14th birthday. Um, and in 2008, Obama became the first African American to be elected as president. And that was a huge moment in US history because it seemed like not too long ago that was impossible. It was 45 years after Martin Luther King's speech about equal opportunities, so it did take some time. Um, but back to the election. In some states, Election Day is considered a holiday, and employees have the legal right to have time off of work to vote, and sometimes they even get paid to go do it, which doesn't happen here in Texas, sadly. But now to my second historical event, which I found to be a little more interesting than the first. Um, it was November 4th, 1922. The British archaeologist Howard Carter discovered the tomb of King Tutankhamun, or King Tut, in the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. King Tut was born around 1341 BC. He assumed the throne at the age of 9 years old, which just blows my mind. Um, that's like, that would be like a fourth grader ruling our country right now, which is impossible. That would never happen. Um, but after 10 short years as pharaoh, King Tut died at the very, very young age of 19. DNA showed that he was infected with malaria, which could have caused his death, and also his parents were siblings. His parents were brother and sister, which caused many medical problems for him. That could have also been the case for his death. But back then, people in power would often have children together with their siblings. And they did this because they wanted to keep the power specifically in the family. So they didn't bring in anybody else. They only had children with their siblings, and that caused a lot of problems for them. But Tut was widely forgotten until 1922 when he had been discovered. He went from being completely unknown to being the best known and one of the most famous pharaohs in history. When Howard Carter had found him, he was in a solid gold coffin, like this one, and inside was the mummy of Boy King Tutankhamun, and he had been preserved for over 3,000 years, which is a very long time. So November 4th significance had a lot to do with power. It had to do with the power that we practice now and the power that we practiced over 3,000 years ago. And it also happens to be my birthday. Thank you.